All right. Welcome to your reading, Leo signs. It's been a while since I've done these zodiac readings, so hopefully this will become a regular thing again. Probably just gonna let everyone know in each of the 12 different readings. But we are on the way. I've got the first 4 signs down. Today's the 27th, so hopefully I'll have these next 4 signs at least before the 29th, possibly all 4 of them tonight if I have the energy. And then I just have the last 4. So, yeah, I hope you're excited and I hope this resonates with you. I have another announcement, which is that my One Piece Oracle cards I've split into 3 different containers. I have these 2 mason jars, so I'm really excited. I can draw one from each, and then later I can empty all of them out and mix them all up. I'm excited. But anyways, first we're gonna do just the overall energy for April, and then after we do this spread, we'll do a spread with love life in April, as well as career life in April. And those are general topics. Those can be about anything that is on your mind about those topics. Even if with career, it could just be about you just your daily life. It doesn't have to be literally some sort of paycheck lifestyle position. It's just however it applies to you, pretty much, and what you want that topic to to be about. Yeah, but we'll get there when we get there. So let's see what you've got going on at the start of April. So we've got Black Hole and the Page of Are these reversed? Yeah, these are just upside down. So I feel like that means these are probably meant to be flipped right side up. Yeah, I just simply I had this deck the wrong way, because all my cards are in the same order usually, and if somehow one of them that I put in there by reverse by mistake, usually I'll take those because I'm okay. But when it's the whole deck, I'm I just have the deck facing the wrong way. So anyways, we've got the Black Hole and the Page of Pentacles, and I wasn't expecting to get a message at this exact time, but I'll just start flipping the cards over as I respond. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. We also have the Page of Wands and the High Priestess. So that's very interesting. Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. 1 second. Okay. I communicated that I'm doing a video. So, the last card in the month is the 8 of Cups with the 10 of Swords as well. This one, I feel like I'll take that reverse. I feel like I'm just going to decide which ones are upright and which ones are reversed. So, that's what I'm getting. That this one's reversed and these ones are upright. These ones are working their way up. I feel like these ones are working their way up, and the 10 of Swords is working its way down, to a reset. So the start of April, I'm kind of just getting with Black Hole, it says drain of resources, dangerous undercurrent. So maybe you've been maybe not in the worst situation, but it's it's a draining situation. Each day is kind of getting you to the next. You're perhaps secure in some ways, in some areas, but at the same time, you've maybe been feeling you always have to spend whatever you earn. For example, you make $500 per whatever amount of time, but you also spend like $510 for that same amount of time. It's always like or 490, so that you like only get like this much like left over, but the rest are expenses, you know? So like that's just an example, but I'm getting that that's changing now. um this is why I wish that I had the March reading for everybody, so that we could see what the end of March is like, because we still have like this last week of March pretty much. But I can tell that like this last week of March is still pretty significant. So I might do like a weekly reading as well. So like everyone kind of also gets the energy for this last week of March. But anyways, this is changing your financial situation, where like, yeah, where it felt like you were constantly either losing or having to spend or whatever. You're now ending up in a situation where you can actually like gain more. So like something happening that helped you get out of a bad place. Like you needed financial support or physical support. It could be both, like about money and also about like your literally like your physical energy, like burnt out physically, like of having to do all these different things. Um, So it's like now that you've got whatever sort of support or help that you've needed in the physical world, whether that's like good connections, um, like yeah, you're getting like maybe proper like care in some way, like or like you found a program that like helps support. Um, I almost said help support single moms or something like that, but I think that's just because there's someone very specific that like keeps popping up that I'm pretty sure is a Leo, but I'm not trying to focus in on one person's energy, I swear. I am doing a collective reading for those of you out there, Leo signs, but that's just kind of like a good example, I would say. Like, so try to see how that resonates with you. I feel like Leos, I feel like the vast majority of you kind of understand what this is talking about. Um, yeah. Yeah. Like your living situation, it could be even as well, or your career. Just like literally apply it however it does. But it's like, yeah, you kind of like moved from one phase of life to another. So your day-to-day routine should be more secure now. Some of you, it's like really, really changed a lot, whether that's like through moving or like new connections um, or long term connections, like re entering your life, or if it's like job change, like something along those lines. But for some of you out there, if you feel like you're kind of like, if it's not like that major of an energy, because it is like the Page of Pentacles, um, and like it might not feel like you're in a significantly better situation yet because of the Black Hole card. Like you might feel like you're still like, even with all of this new support, you still feel like under the current or under the, if there was like a graph or whatever and there was like the zero mark and then there's like positive and there's like the negative numbers, you feel like even though you're like up more, that maybe you're still like not, you still haven't emerged from the zero mark, if that makes sense to any of you out there. So I feel like that's where you're at the beginning of April. It's like that in some ways you feel like you're past it, but in other ways you feel like you're still reaching to the surface, from this like undercurrent. And then in the middle of the month, we've got Page of Wands. with the High Priestess. So that to me is saying that like that you do make it through all of this. Like it's just like this energy will still be really recent at the start of April. That it might be more of a reflective feeling as well. Like so I really do feel like you're in a like much better situation now, Leo. Um and that like you're kind of working through that, and I feel like by like the middle of the month you're kind of like at peace with everything and pretty happy with the way it's turned out. The keywords on this card say journey, navigation, and route. So I feel like you like are seeing why you're on your journey or why you had to take this route that you took, because it's like providing valuable experiences, life lessons, um, knowledge. Yeah. I'm just getting like, yeah, be proud of the journey that you're on. And then at the end of the month, the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Swords pretty much reversed. To me, I'm just getting like you're working through like difficult feelings about a very painful situation that ended in your life, and maybe some of you are deciding you don't want it to be over. So maybe part of your journey you're like happy and grateful for the way things turned out, and it's like it's provided lessons that have shown you like you're glad that you've gotten like that the situation happened the way that it did, but you also wish to like have a redo basically on maybe not that time of your life, but just like a way of life, like in the future. um Basically I'm just like trying to say like these life lessons, you're seeing how you could apply them in the future so that you don't repeat like having the same outcome happen in the future. So it's like now you know for next time type of like a energy. So that might resonate with some of you. But we're just gonna look deeper because it's like I feel like I am pinpointing like specific energies, and I don't think like maybe every single person who might listen to this resonates. But again, general readings are a lot harder to pinpoint every single person's energy, whereas personal readings can be a reading on the very person. So yeah. So starting the beginning of the month, like clarifying it a little bit, we have the Ace of Swords and the Fool card, which is definitely just like reassuring you, like Leo, that the beginning of the month is a good time for you. That it's still very like it's it's like Spirit's way of telling you that you really are out of this like dark place, and it's kind of like you're in that moment of like there might be a little bit of like, is it like am I really out of it, like did I really find like clarity just now, like you kind of like you sort of assumed that it was going to take a long time for you to emerge, but it's like uh yeah, but then it's like it was a lot faster than you realized. Like, you like realized what you needed to and saw the lesson and like got the understanding. It's still only like the present moment of the whole picture. Like, if the answer, so to speak, was every moment in life of your life, you've gotten another puzzle piece for this now moment, the knowledge that you needed for this moment, but you still feel like, of course, that the future is still ahead of you and that you've got a whole like journey ahead of you of like seeing like you've got a lot to learn, but in a positive way. And again, I feel like you may be hesitant just because it's like kind of like, so like I'll share a situation with the channel, which is like a long time ago, which was like 7 years ago. Um, but yeah, a while back, I got myself out of a really bad place and moved far away to a very, very peaceful situation. But even though I was in the peaceful situation, I still felt like I was here at the bad environment that I grew up in, the harmful environment that I grew up in. So it's like, even though I was out of it, I still felt like held back in some way, like that I wasn't out of it, even though I knew that I was. And it, like, in a lot of ways, it's because I was still processing a lot and I was still, like, being affected, of course. But I wasn't able to trust at the time that I was really allowed to be out of this situation and to like have peace. I didn't feel worthy. I felt like I was a burden and that I was like freeloading, things like that. And all of that ultimately led me to coming back here. So it was kind of this like kind of psychological thing. But anyways, I'm getting like, Leo, you like m- me sharing that is my way of giving this analogy of like, you definitely do have a fresh start and you are above the surface now of like those watery depths, the difficult times. um and that it's okay if you'll have those moments where you kind of know that, but you still feel like somehow that those dark times are still like affecting you in some way. So some of you might feel like, I shouldn't be feeling this way when I'm already out of it. So my story was to just kind of like let you know you're not alone, and it's like it's actually totally kind of normal or like relatable or like human to feel that kind of like way, even when you've made it to a more peaceful place for yourself. Like, um, that's what people would describe as like trauma, a traumatic experience. And the thing about traumatic experiences is that even after it's over, like, it's not really over for a lot of people. A lot of the times it's like, yeah, it's, forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, like, they're like traumatic experiences because like that those are things that like now are to be determined if one can recover from it. And it's not your fault if it's taking a long time to recover from things, or if you simply feel like you can't recover from something. Like, I really don't like the stigma in this world where like after we've been hurt or traumatized in some sort of way, that if we don't heal and recover from it, especially fast enough, that like it's our fault. But like trauma in its very own definition should make it clear that it's not. It is like going to be your journey of whether or not like you can recover from certain things and heal through and work through certain stuff. But like, yeah, I just think there's a very important distinction there about the journey and like and about not being rushed and getting to go your own pace. Yeah. So the end of the month, we've got the Three of Swords and the Six of Swords. Yeah, it does seem like overall this is a really solid month for healing, Leo. I feel like you really are going through a lot of healing right now, a lot of recovery, and I feel like it's moving on from some really, really like deep wounds, situations in life that have happened in the past, especially that like I don't know, it's like acknowledging why it was so painful to heal from those things. It's like you might be connecting those dots to like childhood memories and things like that. So if any of you, this can be about heartbreak and heartache, but this can also be about like survival, because in this deck it's the words are great effort, trial, and persistence, and then the card is someone like out surviving. So I, in this deck specifically, the Three of Swords takes on a more financial meaning for me, and like physical meaning, and like health, like your body's health and everything like that. But traditionally or whatever, in like this tarot deck, the Three of Swords is depicted as a heart with three swords piercing through it. So that's where the heartbreak and heartache messages come from. But yeah, in this deck specifically, it can definitely be about other things, moving on to smoother waters in from like a place of like needing to survive financially and physically, to like have the resources necessary to like continue forward and like to hopefully make it to a more stable situation type of a thing. So I see that you're definitely like healing through that over the course of April. And I feel like this is going to be a journey for you that's going to be longer than just the month of April. There's definitely some significant like victories that you'll experience, especially by the end of April. I was mentioning this in another reading earlier, but I was basically talking to the audience, mentioning how like pay attention to the last day of each month. Like I've noticed for myself, the final day of each month, always something like really unique happens. Like, so you know, like throughout a month, at least for me, there's certain days where I feel like nothing happened, and I'm like really working through a lot internally, or just like feeling bad and I don't know how to like get out of it. And I'll like either just sleep or I'll try something like a meditation or just anything, and then whatever, and like I worry that like nothing's gonna happen. But there's one day that seems to never disappoint me in terms of something happening. Sometimes it's something really, really like painful and devastating where I'm like, why did that have to be my month finale episode? Why? So it could be positive or negative, but the point is something big seems to happen every last day of the month, at least for me. I've brought this up to a few people who like aren't like very deep into their like spiritual journey of things, but they're just like really focused on life in the 3D. And they've brought up that like they don't notice anything in particular, but I think that kind of, that makes sense. So like if any of you have paid attention to the last day of the month for some time or something like that, let me know. But yeah, I feel like the end of April specifically, you're definitely going to be experiencing some triumph, some victories when it comes to healing about whether it's insecurities, uh, built up trauma, heartache, heartbreak, feeling financially and physically insecure in some way. Like you're going to be healing through pretty much like all of those, because all of your like I don't know, issues and like hurt and stuff, trauma, they're all connected in some way or another. So it's like I feel like you're not rushing it. You're open to spirit and to the universe and to like yourself. You're allowing yourself to have specific like reflective meditative thoughts of peace that maybe you didn't allow yourself before, like viewing yourself more positively, for example, just like world views that limit one's perception of themselves. You're working through, and it looks like you're keeping an open mind, and you're like letting the universe guide you and work through you and with you. So yeah, I feel like for those of you who've just really wanting to heal, a lot of that is happening. And the Page of Pentacles is like the reminder to Leo that there are changes happening with your reality. You're getting to your dream reality. Trust that future that you hope for and dream for, like your wish is coming true. So the message here, future hope. Sorry, that's the very first word on it. And I was like, the future that you're hoping for, right? I think I said that. I hope I said that. Someone let me know. Or I might listen to this again. But it says future hope. I know you can't read the words, but trust me, it's card 33, future hope. I think that was really cool. And I wrote these over like 2 years ago. I promise you, I did not know. I like don't know them based off of the imagery. I knew this was a chopper card or page or like imagery, because I can see there's like these sakura flower petals, and I know that's exactly his backstory that they're talking about and everything. With the doctor and everything. But anyways, so yeah, your overall message for things to let you know for April, yeah, your future, there's hope. Have hope for that. It's happening. The other keywords are honor, admire, true role model, love, friendship, and fulfillment. So you have like some really good energy that's truly supportive of you at this time. It's like you're feeling proud of the connections that you met, because you feel like you found good, true role models. They may not have been perfect, but like they had true love for you and friendship, and like fulfilled certain wishes that you've had about wishing that humanity who was a certain way of kindness and respect. It's like they have all of that down. And it says revisiting the past as the last message. So yeah, I don't know. I remember talking about here where like 8 of Cups is like walking away from something, and the 10 of Swords is like a painful ending. And this is like, yeah, you're walking away from a painful ending, but also avoiding something being truly ended. So it's like, I don't know, if your like connections are transforming and evolving, and maybe they end up taking different forms than what they once were, but it's like these connections, you have too much love for them for things to end just painfully and stuff like that. You're like, no, like we should know each other while we're on this journey, because this is still a fulfilling connection. It's just like honoring that this one connection is not everything that you were meant to experience on your journey, but it's still a part that you were meant to experience on your journey. And because that person or these connections matter to you, that you're like accepting the form that it's become, how it turned out, and also finding a way to like truly leave it behind, but like peacefully. Yeah. So yeah, that can definitely be like releasing your past, releasing karma, and things like that. And for each of you, once that happens and you're brought peace, it really is kind of up to you about where things go next, and like things like that. Like some of you, it's really about being able to release, but you're like, I'm never gonna go back to that in my life again. Like I'm just gonna walk away. Others of you, it's not that like black and white. It's like, no, like I'll be open to this energy, but like I'm free and I'm going to go this way, but like paths can intertwine and like cross paths at some point, and it's like, that's okay. It's like up to you and your own boundaries about what you want with connections for what they currently are. So, yeah. And that it's okay to always technically have a future hope that things might turn out different. So, that's your overall energy for April, Leo signs. So, let's look into career messages for the month of April. So we're getting 1, Mercury. Things are coming together in that sort of a sense. It's like the connection of like, it's like you've seen many possibilities and paths that you could take along the way, and you haven't been sure of which one to take in terms of career life. But it's like in this moment, it's like out of all of them, you can pinpoint the one that you want to take. It's like the path is lit up. You're like, okay, I'll take that very specific windy path. Another card I'm thinking of is like the moon card, for those of you who know the moon, in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Let me just see if I can find it. It's basically like a moonlit path where you can't really see that far ahead, and you can't see what's on the other side, but you can tell that it's the path, and that it's that you can trust it. Where is it? It's like not appearing, but that's basically the message I am getting. This is so strange. Is it not in here? Oh, there it is. It was like right at the front, but this is the moon card. So yeah, and there's like the path being illuminated in the night. So your career path, basically, you're seeing the path to take. And it's the path you've pretty much always been on. So yeah. I've had some limeade with me. I was just waiting till I was like ready. And let's get some final messages about your career life. Supernova, outburst, surprise, explosion. So Yeah, I feel like you do manifest some sort of like, I don't know, large amount of like finances or abundance or support resources, and it'll like kind of all happen. It might be step by step, but it's still going to feel like a lot accumulated, and it felt like a supernova, like it just happened suddenly. And then nebula, theory, ideation, process. It could even be an epiphany, like a really big, mind-blowing epiphany on what you want to do at this time. I'm going to choose this jar. Let me shake it up. Okay. Okay. So, some final messages about all of this career life. Oh, yeah, this is the respect card. Number 3, respect. I did draw this card, I don't know, like a week ago or like, no, I think I only started doing the One Piece cards like a few days ago. But anyways, I drew this card recently. Yeah, you're like, your path is, you deserve the utmost respect, honestly. So it's like you're seeing how powerful you are on your journey in life, and that like you're really strong and deserve a lot more recognition and respect for the path that you've chosen. And it's bringing you these really cool ideas that sound way more enjoyable to you and freeing to you and fun to you than those other journeys would take. Maybe the downside is judgmental people judging the path you're on, but that's going to be every path. Even if you chose a path of doing every single thing that the people are telling you to do, of this is what it means to be ungrateful, this is what it means to be grateful, this is what it means to be a hard worker, this is what it means to not be a hard worker. Like, if you were to listen to them about all that and do what they say, they would still find a way to judge the path that you're on. So may as well just disregard all of that lousy advice and live your most freeing life that you can. And what can, like, if you do that, you're like kind of automatically always on the path that would bring you everything you desire, because that's sort of, to me, what a path of true freedom is like. Because if you're truly free, that means you have the freedom to decide how things go, what your life is like, and things like that. Sometimes we like have a lot of true freedom, or we find it even if we can't change our circumstances. I don't know. I just find that when we do find that true freedom, then our circumstances free up, you know? So, yeah, getting very philosophical. So, yeah, we're going to move forward now to love messages for April. Push those cards aside. We got the Judgment card. I just was talking about that. The Wheel of Fortune card. And the Seven of Wands. And I'm going to draw clarifiers for this part of the reading with this deck. Because next to the moon in this card was the Wheel of Fortune. That's why I was surprised when I saw it. Because I was like, I saw that card. It was right next to the moon. And the moon is what I was associating with Mercury. So, interesting. So to me, that's like, it seems your love life and career life are connected. Yeah, and in the love life, we got Judgment card, but in this deck, it says Capricornus. Capricornus? Yeah. Anyways, the keywords are prioritization, analysis, practicality. The Wheel of Fortune is a very positive card. Gratitude, nourishment, and potential. And then the Seven of Wands, perseverance, stamina, survival. So to me, this is like, when it comes to love life, you're really focusing on your priorities right now, like financial stuff and your health and your well-being, but you're also still like valuing that part of your journey, that's you're acknowledging that love should at the end of the day be what it's all about, pretty much. Sorry, I got the notification, but I wasn't going to respond to it now. I was just like, what is it? But yeah, and it's like, by the end of the month, it seems like you're still moving forward when it comes to that part of your journey. So let's see. Seven of Cups. So maybe in the beginning of April, you're focusing on other priorities because love life is really up in the air right now for some of you. And then in the middle of the month, we got the moon again with the Wheel of Fortune. But you are trusting it and you're choosing to move forward, even if you're in a very confused state when it comes to your love life or when it comes to a person or a connection. Because the other way I read the moon card is there's like these two companions that are separated by a road of fate. But if they were to both walk down that same road together, they would find that they were just on other sides of the world, but they were still walking side by side, type of a thing. So it's kind of like saying, like, for those of you who maybe you feel like you are now disconnected from some person or aspect in your love life, that like you're still actually connected in some way, and it may be in a different form, but by walking down this path, like, that also means that you're still allowing for that love to still take form, whether it's through a new person or like whatever. It's just like you're choosing to believe that no matter how things have played out in your love life, um, and this doesn't even have to just be about romance. This can be about like getting close to people, friendships, connections, family. I'm just thinking of things that connect to like a love reading. Um, a best friend, like, anyways, you're this is like a card of saying like you're choosing to believe that that energy is real and it's out there, and it may be walking side by side with you, that energy, parallel to you and parallel to your life and your reality. And if you keep walking forward, and it's like a mirroring type of a situation, you might end up eventually getting to converge onto the path and connect, therefore, and meet. Like, it's how you turn ideas into reality, how you turn the moon into the sun, night into the day. Like, if that's making any sense. Like, you might have dreams and visions about a specific life that you want, or a type of connection, and it's like you're trusting that connection you desire, that it's real, that what you're asking for exists. So you're having like hope and believing in your dreams of like what you're looking for in life when it comes to love. This can even be about like finding love within yourself and like coming back to yourself pretty much. And at the end of the month, we also get the Star card, the card of hope. So, yeah. Yeah, I feel like the universe is really helping you through this confusing time to still have hope, and to still believe in your dreams and things like that. Yeah. And then we're just going to pull a final card for love life. Okay. Ooh, I see the sun. Whoa, April 2nd. Happy birthday. So yeah, there's like a sun right there. So the moon, the star, the sun. And this is card number 48. Promise is here. Aww. Your love life. I feel like a very important connection to you that like promised would be there for you, whether in another life or in this life even. Like I feel like they're fulfilling that promise. Yeah. And that's what I've got for you, Leo. So I hope that was a good reading. Um, and I just like, I don't want to guess on what this is because it's like, I feel like it's different for everyone out there. I feel like each of you listening, like, everyone is different. So your own unique situation, what you do or what form like your love life is going to take is going to be different for each one of your different journeys out there. So I think that's all I should say for now. And I do hope you have a really good April. And I hope this was um, helpful or made some sort of sense. And yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Take care.